How would we possibly know that Daniel is talking not about, 70 weeks, which is like 1 year and 18 weeks, 1 year, 4 months, and 2 weeks? How do we know he's not talking about a year and a quarter? Well, just plug in, just do a little math. From the command to restore Jerusalem was in 445 BC. Messiah the King was heralded on Palm Sunday in 30 AD. And if you do a little math and take those years, actually that is 475, years if you look at that. But if you take 360 day, which is what Hebrew calendars were, a lunar calendar, and divide that time period down today, you find it exactly as 483 years, which is just what the Lord said. The 60 plus 2 plus 7, right up to the time of Messiah. Now let's go back to the text, verse 26. After these 62 plus the 7 that has already been mentioned, after these 69 weeks or 483 years, something is going to happen. After that, Messiah will be cut off. What's that? That's the crucifixion. The Messiah was crucified. And not for himself. It's a substitutionary atonement. And the people of the prince that shall come will destroy the city. Who crucified Jesus and who destroyed Jerusalem in AD 70? What nation of people? Romans, okay? So the Romans, see, all of this is very historically validated. The people that destroyed the city of Jerusalem and the temple were the Romans. But notice what it says. The people, the Romans, of, whoa, who's that? The prince that shall come, we know him, we meet him in Revelation 13, beast. He's the Antichrist. This is where we get the concept of the revived Roman Empire. It's not, Hal Lindsey didn't think of that. God thought of that. God said the same people that destroyed Jerusalem and the temple is going to produce a prince that shall come. And what is he going to do? And this is the very next verse, so the antecedent is the prince that shall come, shall enforce the covenant with the many. Oh, there's the last week. Remember, we have 69 accounted for, but in the future, there's one left, and it's right there. And, in the middle of it. So if a week is 7 years, in the middle of the week, 3.5 years, he's going to cause, and this little line right here, Jesus, Paul, and John all believed that was true. That there was a future time that this bad guy, the Antichrist, is going to stop the sacrifice and the oblation. Is there a temple in Jerusalem today? No. There hasn't been one since AD 70. But Jesus, Paul, John, and Daniel, in the future, for 1 week, saw this temple. And he's going to make it desolate. And if you've read the rest of the book, in chapter 13 of Revelation, it says that he sets up an image of himself and wants to be worshipped as God. This Antichrist, savior of Israel, that defends them at their darkest hour, comes in. So that's the backdrop for, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Okay, here's verse 25 of Daniel, 69 weeks, 7 plus 62. It ends with Christ being cut off and the desolation, and there's this period that's not determined how long it is until this final section, this last week, that is bisected by a half. And at the halfway point, the Antichrist shows his true colors and turns on Israel.